Hello everyone, welcome. It's my first video in a hot minute and we're talking about what it's like being a YouTuber for a year. My first video was posted on 29th of October 2024, so just over a year ago. And that video was me calling myself out for being lazy, being unmotivated, being undisciplined. And looking back on it, I think I was in a pretty bad mental space at the time. Didn't have a job, no one was getting back to me. I was just spending a lot of time bed rotting and just reading not the most helpful self-help books and consuming rather toxic self-improvement stuff. And then I was sort of spewing that back out as if that was in any way helpful, which I no longer believe. I think it could be helpful to watch my first video and give my reaction to it a year later and see what's changed, what's improved. So, oh that's so hot. Okay, moving on. In between now and Christmas, you can either turn your life around or you can go into 2025 the same way you wasted 2024. Did I turn my life around? I'm definitely in a better place than I was then. But to say that I made any considerable improvements before Christmas is probably a little bit misleading. I mean, what can you do when I spent all my money on a car? I didn't have a job and I didn't really have any clear goals. So this last week I tried making YouTube videos and failed. I applied to a job and I failed. I tried raising my self-esteem and I failed. See, this is why I think I was in a pretty bad place. I tried to raising my self-esteem and failed. At least you're getting some honesty inside of all of this like misplaced aggression. No one is coming to save you. I'll say that again. No one is coming to save you. If you don't wake up and want the world to change, it won't. But life only stays the same for a short period of time. If you don't wake up and want the world to change, it won't. It's not really that helpful for anyone to be hearing this sort of stuff. If you can't wake up, read, work out, save, invest, and then go to sleep, your stagnant days are numbered. You want to know how much money this guy invested this year? 0. I didn't invest once. Maybe that's your bag, maybe it's not. I think it's very important to actually just allocate your time and resources to things that actually make you want to do more. Like, playing squash is a lot more fun than running on a treadmill. So I did that for a few weeks, maybe a couple months. That was good, that was helpful. That's not quite as fun as jiu-jitsu, but that's a different point. I actually invested quite a lot this year in relationships, I think. And I think that will be the main reason why I feel a lot better than I do. That will be the main reason I feel a lot better now than I did 12 months ago. Because I was kind of on this, as I said just then, no one's coming to save you. It's like, it's not me against the world. If it's you, if you think that way, it's honestly not you against the world. There are people out there, there are groups out there. Yeah, it's just, when you feel like you're on this different wave to everyone else, and that you can't be reached by anyone else, you are gonna be unreachable. But not because you're some sort of different animal, it's because you've just become this self-centered, annoying narcissist, which is kind of what I was then, and probably am still now, just maybe a bit less. So, yeah. I feel like my relationship with my girlfriend is better. I feel like I'm more in touch with my family. Maybe I probably could be more. I feel like me and my best friend, Tom, I know you're watching this. We're definitely, we have a good relationship. I'm not sure if It's definitely, it's got to be better. A couple other friends, but I won't mention everyone because also my job, well, I have a job for starters, and it's probably the best job I've had, even though it's really boring. Being a chef and being a barista is like fun. When it's good, it's great, but when it's bad, it ruins your month. Whereas this job, I really don't care if it goes well or not, because I'm still just going to answer emails. So far, just the main thing that's changed is my relationships have improved. Also, in this video, you can tell I was a bit insecure and the microphone is covering my face.
Run.
You don't get that anymore. No microphone in shot.
Lift, learn, try.
I was probably bigger muscle-wise here than I am now.
So that when Father Time comes knocking and says it's time to move on, you say okay and shrug it off. I can't control my body because I'm not rigorous with it. I excuse it for spending hours on my phone. No more. I excuse it for skipping the gym. No more. I excuse it for wanting the easy route. No more.
This no more. No more. It's kind of how I write if I'm trying to hit a word count. Instead of just saying this. I'm not doing that anymore. It's kind of, it's just sad. It's really sad that I thought the only way to make myself happy was to put myself into a pit of just pure focus, and like, it's so common for these entrepreneur social media people to say the best thing you can do is have pure aggression at your goals, and it's just like, why do you have to be aggressive?
Easy choice.
I'm sure there's a place for it, but like, just carrying aggression around in your heart cannot be good for you, and on your mind, as here. I feel like, you know, look at this. Look at even the way I'm dressed. It's just a bit more colourful. It's a bit more enjoyable. This grey hoodie, I wear it to bed now. It's like lounge wear now.
Easy choices lead to hard times. Hard choices lead to easy times. My self-esteem is a wreck. Do you want to know what would cure that? What would change my self-image? Reaching the goals I set for myself.
I posted a lot of videos in 2024, and did it change my image of myself? Not really. Did it change my perception? No. Because one, it shouldn't be an external thing, it's an internal thing. It shouldn't matter really what you do. As of today, I accept that I'm a flawed person. I accept that I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to slip up, things aren't always going to go right, and you just have to sit there and be like, sometimes you are just powerless. There's like 8 billion people in the world, however many animals, the weather, every variable going. The chances that I'm alive are like in the billions to one. So trying to put the weight of the world in my actions, it's gonna put a lot of stress on myself, and honestly, not worth it.
Is it a surprise I view myself as worthless when I always let myself down?
Is it a surprise I view myself as worthless when I let myself down? This is how I was when I was 21. Like, a lot of people spend their 21st year on this planet partying, celebrating, living it up. I was in my room reading books, telling myself I'm worthless. What the hell are you doing, mate? If I could go back in time, I'd probably just give myself a slap.
From now on, everything I say, I'll do. There is no doing things tomorrow. If I skip my cardio today, I'm not running double tomorrow. I'm not swimming double tomorrow. I'm not lifting double tomorrow. If I skip my reading today, I won't read double tomorrow. I'm stopping whatever I'm doing. I'm getting out of bed if I have to, and I'm reading. I'm stopping the socializing. I'm stopping scrolling.
That doesn't happen. Maybe that's because I prioritize now sleep more than anything, because I just hate feeling tired. Yeah, I just don't... What am I on about here? It's just this most self-contained, self-destructive sort of everything's a mess because of me. Now, while I do believe you're not gonna fall into success. You shouldn't hold yourself accountable for everything. The way the world is not your fault. The way your life will be in future is up to you, but until you're conscious of that, a lot of what's happened up until now is not really your fault.
Doing nothing, being idle, and I'm reading. Everything I don't do from now will bother me.
That's still kind of true. I didn't post as much as I could have, or should have, or intended to, and it bothers me a bit, but sometimes it's just so draining to get in front of this camera and do this. YouTube channel at the cost of health, I feel like that's pretty common actually for a lot of the big ones, so maybe it is the sacrifice you have to make, but I don't want to. I don't know,
And my body is no longer excused. I was willing to give up my dreams for my short-term cravings. No more. Here I have 7 books. I'm going to read all of these by Sunday,
By Sunday? What the hell was I on about?
while maintaining all other responsibilities. How am I going to do it? By making myself.
What was the list?
Here I have.
I've listened to the audiobook of Can't Hurt Me several times. I have read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I've read bits of meditations, and I've read most of The Richest Man in Babylon, but I didn't do it in that week. Maybe The Richest Man in Babylon I did, but the other books I certainly did not read that week. That was just an unrealistic goal. And also notice how there's no fiction on there. Like, I'm not sure when I started reading fiction. Maybe it is this year, but there's so much more enjoyment in reading things like 1984. What else have I read? The Kafka novels. I've started reading Dostoevsky recently. I'm on like page 40 of Crime and Punishment out of 700. And I read a lot of Charles Bukowski, his poems and his novels. I just flick through poetry books. I don't read it start to finish. Oh, one of my favourite books of all time, On the Line. Throw up a picture. That's a poetry book. That was phenomenal. And it's just like, I would have never read that if I stayed in this sort of, I need to read non-fiction and work out every day. A person like that does not read poetry, let alone a whole book of it. I did read that one start to finish. Out of all of the books mentioned so far, that's the one I recommend the most.
By being strict with my body. And if it means my weekend is spent in a chair or on an elliptical with a book in my hand, then that is how it's going to be. Because I'm not forgiving myself anymore. If you're not considering how your actions today will compound over time, you're in the wrong place. Move on.
Oh, you're in the wrong place, move on. What a freak. What an
If you want to join me as I go through this and help you go through the same thing, and you can help me go through my thing, subscribe. I'm gonna go do some cardio.
Nice. Shot the shot. So am I the same person I was a year ago? Absolutely not. And I think that's kind of reflected in my content. I've still not really hit the nail on the head with anything. I think my favourite video was the one where I did the triathlon. But maybe I need to do that again, because the way I speak to the camera, the way I am, my confidence has changed a lot. And I think I'm a lot more interesting than the guy who would be like, today we are reading 10,000 pages and eating 30 calories. It's just like, mate, I don't enjoy really watching that back. It's not cringe, it's just like, I almost feel bad for that person. We're not the same person. But yeah, I'm not gonna quit. I took a long break, but I was just finding my feet with everything. I got jury service next week, guys. Like, what the hell is that? If you've been here from the start, I appreciate you. Man. How did you deal with me when I was intolerable? Do not sacrifice all pleasure for monetary goals. And like Mario Kart on the DS, I'm not going to give that up just for an extra, I don't know. Nothing. Everything is just sacrifices. Make sure you choose to sacrifice as well. I'll see you all very soon.